Let's do this. Okay. What's been happening in Q-Bean's world? I got complimented. Like I said before, I adore compliments. I know things have whatever meaning people attribute to them. I know that it is the way the world works, but like understanding is where it matters what things mean. It's the reason why I freaking hate labels. And once again, people are talking about the parasocial relationship, and this is parasocial, this is parasocial. And it's like, just because a relationship isn't what it seems to be, doesn't make it parasocial. At least that's what my understanding is. And I could be wrong. Somebody could correct me. But parasocial is not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean that the relationship isn't what you seem. It's not unrequited love. It is not any of those things. And unrequited love is not parasocial relationship. Somebody could have unrequited love, but I struggle to see, like, if somebody doesn't know they exist, how it could be unrequited. If you acknowledge the person's existence, if both people in the relationship, and now I'm only doing the two people because it's one and, parasocial. But it could mean for the masses. I mean, newscasters, weathermen, movie stars have parasocial relationships with their fans. And when I described that, a lot of streamers call their chat as a one entity, it would be like Brad Pitt calling all his fans just fans. It's, that's it. They're one entity to him. He doesn't know who they are. He doesn't know, he doesn't know their name. He doesn't even know how or what they exist by. He just knows that they like him and he feeds off of that. And they're all one person. I think that's my understanding of it. So, if somebody's trying to basically go beyond the contract of a parasocial relationship and get known and try to get within their inner circle, and once they're known, then it becomes between two things. They either are wanting that and now know the person exists, or they don't want it and the person has to deal with that. Stalkers are not necessarily in a parasocial relationship. Awful people are not necessarily in a parasocial relationship. As far as, like, it's got a bad stigma because I hate to use Iron Mouse a million times on this. I am in a parasocial relationship with Iron Mouse. Even though she did, show my video on her stream 3 years ago now. Even though that happened, the parody song I did for Black Sabbath's Iron Man, which is called Iron Mouse, even though that happened, it doesn't even mean she knows who I am. I don't believe she knows that I exist. And she is better than most streamers in the fact that she really doesn't call chat. I mean, she calls her chat her precious family, and she does take a lot of time to get to know a lot of people, but she's got a heck of a lot of people to know. So I don't believe she knows that I exist. I adore her, and it is a parasocial relationship I have with Iron Mouse. I used to think, because of the degree of what a parasocial relationship is, that because you interact with VTubers, they can't have a parasocial relationship. I foolishly thought that I could, with interaction and streaming and making videos and stuff like that, be recognized because I didn't see it as a parasocial relationship. I had to learn that that's what it is. I have plenty of parasocial relationship. I watch TV. I am fans of lots of anime. What happens is that when somebody wants more than that, like they go to a signing or something like that, and I know it sounds really, really horrible that people who do book signings, they don't know these people. It's the reason why they ask them their name. Who's this for? I did that too when I did signings. Who's this for? Everybody. I don't know everybody. I don't know everybody who has bought my work. I don't know. Some people that I was close to have bought my stuff, but I don't know everybody who's bought my work. I don't even think they knew who I was when they had me sign. They got my signature. My real life signature, by the way, not QB. I thought when they asked for my signature that I made it, I was someone. I did think that. Put to the test, I'm nobody. I do make it a point right now, because it's not overwhelming, to get to know every single person. I do not want. I want chat to be what I want others chat, what I thought chat was for other people. And it's not a parasocial relationship. It is a different type of relationship, but it's not parasocial. For me. recognize that they're loved, and they're loved for who they are, not just because they like something that I said or something that I did, or they happen to be following me. I want interaction, and I crave it, and I do even these videos so that people could get to know me better. I'm doing it wrong. I mean, I'm not doing it the way other people do it. I don't know anybody else who does it this way. And it's why I have misunderstandings, and I don't I don't comprehend why people are going through certain things, because I'm on a different path. And when people tell me like, oh, you should do this is how you should handle this, it's like, you're not me. No. Wait a sec. I don't tell you how to do your shit. I will take your advice. I will take it under consideration. I will put it where I feel that it's best served. I will use what I want to use from it, and I will leave the rest. And that's exactly how it works. I get lots of advice, and if I did everybody's advice, if I took everybody's advice, I would go fucking mad. But yeah, if people want to have a parasocial relationship with their chat, I'm more power to them, especially if they become successful at it. It's definitely a lot easier to handle than when the numbers, because everybody keeps telling me, oh my god, over and over and over again, how numbers don't fucking matter, and yet all they do is talk about the numbers. When their numbers are so great that they can't be a part of the community that they basically built, then yeah, I can understand it. It's a parasocial relationship. You have to do that. You have to still be entertaining. You have to do this stuff. I guess I'm not that entertaining. I like I said, I'm doing it differently. I have no qualms about never becoming successful at this. Will I work towards it? Yes. I'm not half-assing streaming, ever. But I'm doing it my way. And if I could turn this into a job, if I can, have, wow, I'm like super duper early. But if I could have all these things that the successful streamers have it's going to still be on my terms. The only difference between right now and my streaming, or lack thereof, and turning the nut to become full-time, is that I will not be going to this job. And if I'm not going to this job, I'm going to be doing another job, which I would like it to be streaming. I don't know if that makes sense. Alright, I'd like it to be streaming. And if it is streaming, that's going to be the only difference between me making a living doing this and me, not me doing it as a hobby. Because I'm not going to kowtow. I am not going to placate. I am not going to even follow the guidelines on what makes a successful streamers ever. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do what makes me feel comfortable, and I am going to try to bring smiles to people and have them laugh and enjoy and be a part of everything that I'm doing. And that's it. It is, like I said, I'm like super duper early. I'm gonna pull over. I'll pull over down here. I don't believe. No, somebody else just pulled over down there. I should have pulled over up there. Yeah, it's a big motorcycle day. Yeah, I want to like talk about this because it's something that bothers me a lot, because there's an expectation of there's an expectation of what a streamer is. I also, with the way I'm doing things, as a streamer, I don't want to be just entertainment. I want everybody to know that there is a person who is struggling and who's doing his best behind all this shit. And I don't want anybody to feel like that either they're a plaything or I am just a plaything. I'm not a court jester. I think I was one, in other occupations and stuff like that. I think I was around for amusement. I think that it was not a good time. And I don't believe that the best comedians are the saddest, but I do think that a lot of best comedians are very empathetic, and they will carry the weight of the world on their shoulders, and usually through sarcasm. They're very funny. I'm not saying that their problems are any more diminished or less than anybody else's, but I'm also saying that they're not any more than what anybody else goes through. It's the reason why they tend to be very relatable. I have struggled with a lot of things in my life already, and I have finally found out, who I am, what I'm about, and how I'm going to do this. And I can only hope that it shows. And I would absolutely love if people would, basically do that in turn and show me who they are. My grandmother always said, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are. And I don't even want that label. I want friends that are diverse and crazy and, this. But above all of that, full of love. And they don't have to put on airs or, act out or any of that shit. They can just be them. And it's funny because why I like VTubing. Because people are like saying they're pretending to do. And it's like, that's probably closer to who they are deep down than anything else that they have in their life. And yeah, I love being the little yellow gremlin. I love it. But sometimes I think, is that who I am? And maybe it is. There's definitely a part of me that is. I have a lot of gremlin energy. But the take is that they diverse. Like I said, it is probably these personas. That everybody has. Everybody who's a VTuber, those personas are probably closer to who they are and what they dream about than anything else. They are one step closer to knowing who they are, if they haven't already, than most people. And for some, it does take that to do that. Yeah, some people are owning trauma. They think that they're owning trauma, but they don't realize like how beautiful and wonderful their persona is, because their persona helps them find who they are. So they can shed all of that stuff, all this, silly flesh that you have, and they can shed it and basically just be who they are. And there is a hope that it's entertaining, and it's sad that most people who are VTubers, that persona is not very entertaining. I mean, even me, I put myself in that category. But that said, it doesn't mean that they can't be successful. It doesn't mean that they can't be, on their own path. And it might not be streaming. I've watched a lot of people leave because of it. And I think that every single one of them, once they embrace who they are, and I've seen people they completely change their persona to something else. And that's what they need. That's what they need. It doesn't make them any further or closer to who they are. It is what they need. And hopefully it gets them there. And I would love to see it. I have seen it several times in my life. I have seen it once before I figured out who I was, and once after. So I say several times, and I really mean a couple of times. And I say several times, but I really mean it's a couple times. And in the couple of times that I've seen this, it has been glorious. And I've watched them go on to great things. It takes away everything. And have I gone on to great things? I'd like to think that I have. I like to think that I have, and I like to think that I'm heading towards a I think that I'm heading towards where it is more zen. And success isn't money, and success isn't how famous or well known you are. That's not success. Success to me, because I used to think that, well, I still think that being rich is this, but I used to think that that meant I was successful. I used to think that if I was rich, I was successful. And when I got rich, and I defined being rich by being able to walk into any place, anytime, anywhere, and be able to buy what I want. Not what I need, what I want. That was rich to me. That I do not have to worry about the price tag. Now, once I bought that thing, would I still be rich? That's beside the point. But I could do that and not have to see the price, not have to haggle. That's what rich would be for me. Being rich. And I've had that several times in my life as well. But I used to think that that was being successful. And I have had a successful life. It is it is mine, and nobody else has had it. And it is the reason why streaming, I'm not going to placate it. I'm not going to pretend or do those things. And just that, like, here I am, like, like, ha, I'm gonna be my own man bullshit. When I started out, I was following the rules. My Twitch account was by the fucking numbers on how you do that. Before I even did a stream, I had almost 200 followers. When I did my first stream, I did it with 32 people in the stream with me, in chat. 32 people. I had already broken all the freaking records. That I don't know. I think people have had better records than that starting out. But I've already broken what the expectation. I've watched people struggle for even years to get that far. I had well over 200 people by Christmas Eve before my suspension. I had a diverse group of people of all walks of life. I was controversy and this, and I was acting out, and my streams were absolutely entertainment personified. And I was getting ready to debut. Suspension happened. It threw a monkey wrench into the whole thing. I was learning how to rig. I was thinking I was doing it right. I was doing it wrong. There's a lot of things that that would have become clear if I was stayed on the path that I was on. But I probably would have hired somebody. To be my thing. Christmas Day would have been my streamiversary to affiliate, and so it would have been December 25th. And yeah, I was one day before my thing. And when 200 people, 200 followers, basically abandoned me, I was ruined. Absolutely ruined. So when somebody tells me, like, don't worry about the numbers, don't worry about the numbers, I already freaking don't worry about the fucking numbers. Because I will never be ruined like that again. And nobody, in my opinion, will ever be a fucking number again. I have cues that I drew to count how many followers I had. I had that. So I was definitely worried about the fucking numbers. And mainly because my numbers were good. And I was reaching for the stars. Like I said, I thought I was going to be peers with members of eShoujo and all the big streamers. I thought I was going to be their peers. And I'm only back after that whole fucking mess. I'm only back because somebody said, this is where you belong. And so, if this is where I belong, I'm doing it on my terms. I'm not doing it on theirs. It's all on me. And that's why I say I'm doing it my way. And I do not shirk anybody for doing it their way. And it's a tried and true method of success as a streamer. They lay it out for you. It's right there. All you got to do is look. Anybody could do it. And I will say that the cookie cutter streamer, something's lost. And I hope eventually they find their own way back. Iron Mouse didn't follow that path. Project Melody didn't follow that path. They followed their own path. They didn't do it some other person's way. So I am going to, in fact, I think some of the methods they lay out are the methods that they used. But that works for them. That doesn't necessarily work for anybody else. But yeah, if I was going to be making money doing this, it's going to always be on my terms. And if I lose a lot of money because of it, then I lose a lot of money because of it. But it's still going to be on my terms. I was asked recently about the fact that I stopped following people. I don't follow non-mutuals. It's not that I don't love them and adore them, and we've had witty conversations, and we joked around about things, and I see that they do need an extra person, to help them reach their goals or whatever the fuck that they're trying to do, and that they can't bother to be mutual with me. They can't bother to follow me. I can't be bothered to follow them. I don't dislike them in any way, shape, or form. I don't judge them, but I just won't follow them. And it also keeps, if somebody's been paying attention, it keeps certain people anonymous, and I want to keep them anonymous forever because of how much they hurt me. That's the truth. All right, time to go. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantabulous time doing it. It is an amazing thing, and as always, if you could write cool beans in the comments below, that would make my day. It would show that the analytics on YouTube are all bunk, which they are, and it would mean that you watched this video all the way to this point. And that would be awesome, because I know people do. Those are the analytics that I care about. the numbers. I know the numbers are all wrong, but these are the analytics that I care about. How much people are watching. I want to talk about, when somebody says don't worry about the numbers that I care about are how much are people watching. That's what I care about. So, take care. Alright, I will talk to you soon. I will probably be on tomorrow. I'm going to be working all the way up through Labor Day, so we got a fun time. Alright?